Good evening and welcome to Let's Talk Shop with Russ. We have our guest tonight as Robert Crowe. I haven't seen him in a long time. As far as the last time I saw you was at the Atlanta Woodworking Show.
Yep.
How many years ago was that?
Around 2017, 2018.
Yeah. That's been a while. So Robert's on here, and we're going to talk to him and find out what he's been doing. And I saw some of your posts that you put up that some of the things you were making. I actually have a picture of it.
Oh, that's behind me.
Yeah. So you were making, actually have a picture. And somebody's got their audio on, because I can hear it in the background. So if you would check your audio. Because I can hear it in the background. So if you would check your audio.
I got it. There was a little noise coming out of the iPhone.
Well, I was going to say it.
I thought, where is that coming from?
Yeah. So how you doing, Robert?
I'm doing fine though. Just trying to get some stuff done. Like I said, my father passed away on the 25th of January, and I've been taking care of him since 2017. So that's why I hadn't been back to the wood show much. So I've kind of missed that. It was fun going down there and meeting everybody.
No, I understand. Hey, your father comes number one. I mean, you got to take care of him regardless.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean,
how old was he?
He was 78.
78? Okay.
Yep, he just turned 78 in November.
He's a young guy. That's the same age as me.
Yeah.
He had smoked for a long time, and he had problems with his lungs and his COPD and stuff. So, and my stepdad is 79, and he's in hospice right now, or hospice care.
Hospice care, yeah.
Yeah.
Where do they live at?
Huh?
Where do they live at?
8 miles down the road from me.
Oh, so they're close. That's good.
My mother passed away. They were together for 23 years. Had a glitch there.
Yeah, you did.
It's okay. It's the internet. Do you have to have wireless over there, or is it hardwired?
I'm hardwired here.
Well, even that doesn't matter sometimes.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
The computer magic, right?
But
yeah, Robert and I had talked quite a lot for a long time, and I knew he had some problems and everything. And then we met at the Atlanta Woodworking Show over the years, and I enjoyed that. He brought me a lot of wood to take home, and fortunately, when he did bring me some big chunks of wood, I was driving, because if it had not been for that, I wouldn't have been able to fly it home. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you was in your wife's Camaro, and you had bought a drill.
That was the Camaro day, because I told him, I said, why didn't you just... Oh, he did stick it in his wife's Camaro, didn't he?
He did.
Oh, yeah, I brought a full-sized
drill press, wasn't it?
Drill press.
Jet drill press.
Yes. And the wood that Robert gave me all the way home in that Camaro. Yeah.
So
Trust
I got a
me,
question.
I bought the drill press, and they were like, back your truck up here on the loading dock, and we'll see if we can, put it in. And I backed her Camaro up, and they go, I don't think we're gonna get this in there. And I said, oh yeah, oh hell yeah, I'll get it all, because they had taken it apart, and I put everything in there. And the biggest problem was the tube for the foot and where the drill press mounted. And I put it from the right side of my wife's in the passenger seat, and we let the top down because it was a convertible, and laid it down on the driver's side all the way up to the corner, and lifted the thing, and it all went in there perfectly. And that was Peachtree. They were the sponsors at that point. Peachtree, they helped me load it, and they shook their head when I drove out that I had that full size drill press put in the back of that Camaro.
Leonard Davis says he put everything in. Well, I'm putting the in but the wife.
Oh
So-
no, she had plenty of room.
Oh, she did? Okay.
Oh yeah, she had plenty of room. Hey, I hated to pay for an extra airplane ticket to fly her ass home if I didn't have room enough for her. So,
Yeah, but it was the drill press. Come on.
Right.
no, we got it all in there, and then Robert brought me a lot of wood, and we packed that in there too.
Oops, lost him.
So I've got a question for Robert.
He's
I
gone.
think we lost him. We're gonna
Oh,
have
he
to
is.
wait.
Well, I guess I don't have a question
He
for him.
disappeared. You'll have to hold off.
Yep. But yeah, that was a fun time. Trust me, getting
Al,
that
did you
drill
make
press in
that
the
bowl
back of
today?
that truck.
I'm sorry, what?
Did you make that bowl today?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to let Robert explain it.
Oh, okay.
I'm back.
So my question is, Robert, and Jim was inquiring about it, so I'm going to go straight to it. So tell us how I made this nice, delicious bowl back here, and how that right there is used to make that nice, delicious bowl look.
That's just what I put on the bowl to kind of seal it. I don't have that bowl here. I have it in my old mobile home workshop. I'm not in that old mobile home anymore. As you can see, I'm in my big shop at my dad's, but I built a long time ago. So
Looks nice there.
I got a 20 by 30 here that's concrete floor, and it's partially mechanic shop and partially wood shop. I got plans to add another 20 by 30 or 20 by 20 on the back side to my left here where I'm sitting. I got a sawmill and stuff, so I've got some of the 6 by 6 beams already cut, ready to put in the ground, but I'm just kind of waiting on springtime. And I ain't had a whole lot of time to cut anymore because of my dad. I was taking care of him, and then went back to work, and we worked some 50-hour weeks and some weeks not. But I've just had a lot of cleaning up to do and getting things kind of organized. And
Well, it looks like a fantastic job.
you what now?
It looks like a fantastic job, the organization and
Oh,
the cleanup.
yeah. Well, it's more of a mess than organization.
But then knowing Paul,
yeah.
Anyway,
How did I deserve that?
Paul's Messy Workshop,
Yeah.
You have
It's
no
always a workshop.
Yeah,
Where are
you're
you
going to
located,
complain
Robert?
about. I was going to say, you're going to complain, Paul, about us complaining about your messy workshop when it's called messy workshop.
my point is made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Al. Robert, we're on board.
So, Robert, how old are you actually?
I am 56. I'll be 57 in November.
Huh. Well, you're 10 years, 10 or 11, 12 years younger than me. So,
Yeah.
Well, I'm right on
Hey.
your heels at
He's a
55.
youngster.
yeah, I think Paul is the oldest on the show. Paul, how are you?
I'm 78.
Yeah, Paul's the oldest. Yep.
Yep, I'll be
He's the oldest.
79 in September.
Yep, he's the old man of the show. So, when you were like, I know you take care of your father and everything. What was your number one ambition to get back in the shop and start doing things like you used to do?
Yeah,
What
yeah. I'm trying to get it set up where I'm doing. I started building the garden boxes just to have something to try to sell in the spring, but there's a ton of people making them, and I've had them on Facebook for a while now. And I've had a few people interested, but no takers. I posted that whole set, the bottoms, the two small ones on top with the signs, and the bottom one for $175. And there's just so many people. When I went to Home Depot I was going to use cedar pickets,
Mhm.
and they had two stacks that were completely to the floor, and all that was left was what they had picked through.
Wow.
So I got the pressure treated pickets, and that's what I've used on those.
Is
And
that your design, or is that Matthew's?
those are there's a young kid called Voss.
Yeah. What's the Voss? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're trying to
And-
get him on the show.
yeah, he's got some good plans, and shows you how to do it. So I kind of went by his plans. There's tons of plans out there and tons of ways to do it. So the top one, I kind of, my buddy was helping me, and we didn't do the 45s on the tops, and I didn't like them as good. I did 45s on the rest of them, and they turned out better. So that one I'm going to keep and put it on my front porch down here at my little cabin, and put me a flower or something in it.
When I make mine like that, I do that 45 on the top.
Yeah.
I think you really need to put a spline in them or something so they don't pull apart. Because I've never had one that doesn't stay together.
Well, all those are glued, but I cut the corners off. I cut them and made them kind of round more than just pointed.
Mhm.
I cut about a half inch off of the corner, and they look pretty good for just flower boxes or garden boxes.
Are you able
yeah,
to sell them pretty well by you?
Huh?
Are you able to sell them well by you?
Well, I like to say I hadn't had no takers. I mean, my cousin's wife, she wanted.
Well, lost your sound, Robert.
wanted
I think he froze
them,
up.
but I think her. And
Yeah.
they kind of backed out. I didn't. One person was just a hoax. It was a Facebook hoax. So
Oh,
I've reported that one. So
So you need,
hey, what I want to do is make up a bunch of them and put them in the truck. And I'm in Oconee County, South Carolina. So
Okay.
I am not far from Cherokee, which there's a big flea market on 441 called Bill's. And I thought about going up there and setting up and maybe trying to sell some and take a bunch of different stuff, and try to sell during the springtime when people start traveling.
yeah.
Is that where the
Right.
casino is there in Cherokee?
Yeah.
I think I own part of that building.
Well, you've paid enough money that you could own it, right?
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm right above you up here in Wilson, North Carolina, man.
Do what now?
I'm right above you here in Wilson, North Carolina.
Wilson.
Yeah.
Was it close to?
It's about an hour and a half right of Raleigh, North Carolina.
Okay, you over toward Raleigh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to do I tried my venture in going to. We have flea markets around here, and I tried that venture, but the time you pay for the booth, and then you have to load it and unload it and all that kind of stuff. I just decided, hell with it. I wasn't making the money that I thought I was going to make.
Yeah.
And so I just, I canceled it out. So what I went to was I actually had enough client base from people buying stuff from me that I went to just, if you wanted something, tell me what you want and I'll see if I can make it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I made more. I was making $800 to $1,200 a month just off of that, and not having to pay the booth rental.
I kind of think for stuff like that, Facebook Marketplace might be.
Well, like I say, the marketplace is good, but there's the marketplace is flooded with it. If you type in garden boxes, there's tons of people selling for like $25 a piece. I'm like,
yeah, that's
exactly.
Yeah, that race to the bottom kills everybody.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. I found more luck with customers that I had made stuff for previously, and then they wanted stuff, and they would, hey, can you make this and send me a picture? And I would send them the artwork back and say, yes, and this is how much I want to make this. And that was the way I made most of, or a lot of my money.
Yep.
Yeah, our marketplace group here in Northwest Indiana, you don't see a ton of planter boxes on it. So there's still room to grow there.
Right. And the thing you have to worry about is when you put it out there in marketplace and you sell it, is the IRS is looking at that.
What is it, over $600 now? You have to keep track.
Well, I got 1099s for like a couple $100, and if you get a 1099, you got to declare it.
Exactly. So
I have a 30. I have a 30-06, and I don't worry about it.
So, you said your father passed away. When did he pass away? How many months ago?
Passed away January the 25th.
Oh, it's only been about a little over a month.
Yeah, it was time. I mean, I had taken care of him for a long time, and I was having to take him to get shots in his back, and he would get up and eat and just go lay back down and watch TV. That's all he did. And he just got to the point where he just wasn't able to, get around too well. December the 15th, he fell. He was sick that weekend, and I told him, I said, you need to go to the doctor. Oh, I'll be all right. I'll be all right. I said, you're going to end up falling out here. I ain't going to fall. And so I went and checked on him twice that night to make sure he was okay. The last time I checked on him was 9:30, and I live in a cabin about 300 feet out behind him. And so I checked on him. He was okay. He had his TV going. He was going to just lay there and watch TV. Well, I got up. I always get up early because I go to work at 6 o'clock, so I got to leave at 5. I'm up at 4. So I was up around 4. So around 5 o'clock, I decided to go out and check on him before I come to the shop. And I got out there, and he had messed on himself, but he had tried to get to the bathroom, and he had fell in the bathroom in the hallway floor. And he was laying there cold, and he'd been there for a couple of hours. And I had to get him drug into the wood or to the gas heater where he would get warm. And I put a blanket under him and drug him in there. And so I had to get him all cleaned up. And during the process, I knew he needed he needed some medical care. So I eventually called 911 and got him on the way. And that's what brought it all on. He had to go to the hospital. He was there for 3 or 4 days, and then they put him in Lala Dole, which is a nursing facility, and he was in there for almost 2 weeks. And they were trying to get him better because his creatinine level had went way up. It was like 171 because he laid on the floor so long. So he had too much protein in his blood. And they got it back down to like 146. And he come back home, and I started trying to take care of him, and ended up having to call an ambulance again because he just acted like his bladder was filling up and he wasn't able to go. And his level had went back from 146 to 154. And that's when the doctors kind of thought it'd be a good idea to get hospice involved and, let me talk with them. So we talked with them, and they come out and they do more with them than the home health was.
Right. Well, he was a fighter. He tried as long as he could.
But he got to the point where he wouldn't do his breathing treatments. I think he was pretty much tired and just wanting to.
Well, we're all going to come to that point.
Yes, sir.
When,
we all are.
When we say, you know what, I've had it. I'm out of here.
We better be ready. That's what it is. That's when my stepdad is. He's like he's ready to go because they can't get his fluid to stop. He's building up too much fluid. So
right.
He's smoked all of his life. He won't quit smoking. We've tried to get him to quit. And he's just a die-hard smoker, and he won't quit. Got a patient.
We had a friend of ours on the show, and he had an oxygen tube in his nose.
I remember him.
Yeah, and he finally succumbed from that same thing. So it is what it is. Are you doing a lot of turning, or are you back in turning?
I've got my lathe sitting over in the corner, and I've got some pins ready to turn. I got some Purple Heart, and already got them glued up and stuff, but I haven't turned them. I've still got the pins that I did a long time ago that I watched Rob Austin's videos, and I did these Celtic design pins.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, those are the ones I remember you were doing.
Right.
Yeah, those are awesome.
Yeah, I did those. This one's copper.
Well, unfortunately, he's kind of like locked up.
It's kind of harder to. That one was copper tubing.
Hold it back up again because he kind of like froze up during that. Yeah,
those are beautiful. A lot better than the ones I did.
No kidding, man.
I did copper tubing. I took and cut copper tubing open and flattened it out with a hammer.
Okay.
This one here, some people were using like Coke cans. I used 2 pieces of metal flashing, like you put on a house.
Yep.
I used flashing on those, and it seemed to work better than aluminum cans.
Cool.
I did those. Those are, Rob Austin did the videos of that, and I watched his videos. Actually, Rob Austin came up to get his blanks for his canes, because I always give Rob Austin wood when I can. I cut him up some poplar to make some canes out of. Well, Rob Austin failed several weeks ago, and he's got his arm had swelled up real bad. He had 4 guys came with him to get the pallet, and he had 2 pallets, but they couldn't carry him but one. They had a little small trailer, but he's got a blood clot in his shoulder, that is not allowing the blood to come back to his heart, and it's swelling his arm up. So they're going to try to get him in somewhere to get it taken care of. They just have found out about it. So say some prayers for him because he needs it. I really like Rob. He's a real nice guy.
Top notch.
Yeah. Yeah, he
Robert?
is. I didn't hear that about him. I know he
Well,
posted.
he probably hasn't told anybody because he just found out about what's wrong just a few days before he came up here. He came up here yesterday when I got home from work and picked up the pallet because he had already planned to come, I guess. He didn't stay as long as he had planned to. We were going to do some stuff and all that. They had to get back. The guys that he came with needed to get back, and I think he wasn't feeling too well with that arm. He couldn't do a whole lot with it.
Right.
Robert, do you have a YouTube page?
Yeah.
I want to post it out there. If you can tell me what the name of the YouTube page is, I might be able to find it because it's just Robert Crowe. Ain't no way.
It's different than it used to be.
Okay.
It used to be Mobile Home Workshop, but I lost my password and I never could get back in.
That's right.
Where can I paste it here with the chat?
You can, if you want to send it to Facebook to Al Forte to put it there. We're friends on Facebook. Or there you go. That'll work. That'll work.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'll go ahead and put that out there.
I don't really have anything. I don't have anything on this channel that I can remember that I've recorded. So there's really not anything on here because I don't do a whole lot of recording anymore that I used to. But I just never did get into the recording too much. I did.
Yeah, he used to actually. His wood shop was inside of a mobile home.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember Mobile Home Workshop. Yes.
Yeah. Mobile Home Workshop.
I'll go ahead and put it out there, but yeah.
And the Mobile Home Workshop is still there, and they still videos that I did when I was there. I just lost my password and I never could get back into it. I never could open it up.
Let me see if I can find Mobile Home Workshop.
Well, you should be able to recover that, Robert. If it's still there, you should be able to recover it.
Yeah. I tried many times and I never could get it to come back. So
yeah, you should be able to. I don't know what you're doing as far as being able to recover it, but you should be able to recover it.
Hey, Robert, you said you had a 20 by 30 foot shop.
Yeah.
What all do you got in it? I see the bandsaw and the.
Let's see.
Because that's the same size I've got, and I can't even walk in mine.
Yeah, I got CNC machines right here beside me. I got a CNC machine. That's my control box. I got a big monitor up in front of it. I've got wood storage down at the end with my chop saw. It's just a big mess, really. I got the wood heater. The wood heater is all the way down at the door at the corner, so I got a big wood heater, and I got a room back in here that store junk in. I do have a 3-ton unit outside that I've got hooked up to these ductwork here. There's a big ductwork and it goes down and it comes out right here by the desk. And but my fan went out in it. The big fan that runs the air just quit. The squirrel cage fan. And I got a buddy of mine that's got one, and I got to get it fixed before summer gets here because the cooling part of it works great in here. It'll cool it down pretty good, especially when it gets real hot. But the way our power company's got, they're charging us a huge amount for peak hour time. So from like 3 to 6. They charge you a big high rate. So I don't know how much I'll be running it, but I'd have to do it after the peak hours when I'm, but when I work, I don't do a whole lot in the shop. I do a little bit because I work 10-hour shifts. So by the time I get home at 4, I'm about ready to call it a day.
Yeah, whenever I bought that drill press, and at the same time you were there and you were giving me all that wood, my wife was like, where the hell are we going to put this and all the Camaro?
I brought some of the pieces that I had cut up. I was selling blanks a good bit. I've got I've got a lot of pin blanks. I got tons of pin blanks still. I was cutting them up left and right.
I jokingly told my wife, you're just going to have to leave your crap here. And she didn't like that very much.
Over big, yeah.
You put me in the doghouse.
Yeah, I was like, she goes, we're going to put all that stuff. And I was like, well, you're just going to have to leave your stuff here because the wood and the drill presses. And she was like, what?
So that's where the knot on the side of your head comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we got everything in her Camaro, everything, all of our clothes, everything we brought.
You tied her on the hood, right?
Yep, and
like a deer.
And she was like, she couldn't believe it, but I will tell you this much. The Camaro did squat in the back quite a bit as we were coming home.
Yep.
Where there's a woodworker, there's a way.
See,
Oh, there it was. We got
I wanted to make a joke.
And I was actually thinking to myself, how the hell are we going to get all this in here? But we got it in there. Hey, the drill press is in my shop. It works to this day. It's awesome. And it come home in her Camaro, trust me, with all the other stuff.
Was that
Robert was like, hey, I got some wood for you. And I was like, all right, so we'll have some of these little blanks, 5x6 or whatever. No, he brought tree trunks.
Robert, where do you get all that wood you're giving everybody? You live in the middle of a forest?
I got a sawmill, so I cut a lot, and I get. I used to go around guys that cut trees.
Oh, okay.
Get logs to cut up, and I've got a whole pile of. I got a pile of hickory. I got a stack of logs ready to cut up. I've got a stack of oak, red oak. I've got some.
I think he locked up, but he brought me some hickory. And
white pine. I got during the hurricane.
If you've never turned or messed with hickory,
hickory is.
Oh, you got another thing coming.
Yeah,
because
I got a whole pile of. Hey Russ, I got a whole box full of them hickory blanks. If you want some more.
No, no, you gave me some big pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got some more of them if you want one.
No, I brought it home and I was like, really, I had never. I mean, I know hickory is good for like handles for saw or hammers and stuff like that because it's really hard.
Whipping people's butts is what hickory's for, isn't it?
What?
Hickory stick?
Hickory stick.
Yeah, well, I understand that, but if you've never turned it or messed with it,
I messed with it already.
It's an experience, trust me.
If it's any harder to turn than that sweet gum I played with, you can keep it.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
God, I love it.
It's the hardest wood I have ever turned in my entire life.
I cut some sweet gum on my sawmill and it turned out like a bow. It just bowed up.
Really?
Turned loose. It's like got so much energy in it. It's crazy.
That sweet gum
You
ain't
got
no
there,
joke.
Nixon.
Hey,
That's
there's
just-
my sawmill. Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
That was at my buddy's house in Liberty. We was clearing out some trees for him to fix his shop. He was making his shop bigger, so that was where we was cutting. We cut a big old huge pine tree he gave me and cut it up and brought it home.
Nice.
Yeah, I've tried to make some stuff out of it, and oh man, it's
I
just
got into bowls a little bit, and that bowl that he's got behind him, that bowl is walnut, and it seemed to be the best. I like walnut, and I did a very few bowls, but I just didn't really get into bowls that much. I did more. I like the pins better than bowls because bowls is just kind of you have to spend a lot of time to make a bowl. If you want to make it right and make it not crack, you gotta partially turn it wet and put it up and oil it and wait on it. And I just never did get back into the bowls too much.
yeah.
You ever take
Actually, I'm a little bit different because I was enjoying turning some of the bowls and stuff
Yeah.
I did. It was
Oh, I enjoyed it. It's just I just didn't get into it as much as the pins, I guess.
yeah, and I turned one bowl out of hickory, and I said, I'll never damn turn a bowl in hickory again in my entire life. That stuff, it's like hickory's the stuff you use for hammer handles,
Right.
all that, anything that you want to beat or bam or whatever on, you want hickory
I
for.
carried a load of boards to Rob Austin. They made canes out of them for the vets. I
Yeah.
imagine those were some good canes.
Yeah, it's like hammer handles, anything you want to be solid, that's what you make hickory out of.
That's the one that Clint Eastwood used to beat up them 4 guys in town on the Pale Rider.
Yes,
Nothing like a good piece of
exactly.
hickory.
He got him a piece of hickory and beat the crap out of all of them. Yeah,
A hickory axe handle.
yeah. But you see,
Robert,
Robert didn't tell me when he gave me that crap that that's how hard it was, because I've done oak and cherry and all the other kind of wood. I didn't realize how hard hickory actually was. Well, yeah. Yeah, it's not one of those woods that you just say, I'm going to turn a bowl out of this. Oh, hell no. So your father's passed away, your mother's passed away. So
Yeah.
you're like kind of like me. Me and my brother are the last two.
Yeah, I got my brother. My brother's in Tribble Center. He's kind of disabled, but he works. They let him work. They let him work doing like bagging screws, things like that at plants. So he does that, and he really enjoys it. And there's a place that where he lives. He stays there now, and they have a housing for him, and they teach them, different things, and teach them how to take care of themselves. And he's doing real well with it. He's transitioned into it pretty good.
That's awesome. My brother is 10 years older than me. He's 76, and he's still painting houses. He is still climbing a 35-foot extension house or extension ladder, painting houses. Yeah. At 77 years old, I'm 66, he's 10 years older than me. He just turned 77 in May of this March. No, he will turn 77 in May of this year. And I told him, I said, bro, when are you going to stop this crap? And he goes, he has his thigh muscles are like of a 16 years old.
Yeah.
Hey, just like this, if he likes it and he's able to do it, let him do it.
He's doing it. He's doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're not supposed to just sit down and quit and retire. As
No.
long as our health is good and we feel like working, we should work.
Well, that's when what I told him. I said, "When are you going to retire?" And he says, "When I can't climb a ladder anymore."
That's right. That's it.
Yeah. And
When
I was like,
when I got out of high school, I went straight to the steel mill
Yeah.
because I didn't go to college, and I would always hear these guys say, "Yeah, this guy retired, and 2-3 months later he was gone," because they don't do anything anymore. And then I run into the Rivian truck plant, the one that makes those electric Amazon delivery trucks, and you go in there, and it used to be a Mitsubishi EV plant, and you go in, and these guys that worked there before Rivian bought it and remodeled it, they come in and say, "You know what? You can only fish for so long." And then you get so bored you want to go back to work and do stuff. So these guys took the buyout when Mitsubishi left, and then they came back to Rivian.
And that's what my brother told me. He goes, what am I supposed to do? I mean, I worked my entire life, and so if I retire, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah. Yep.
So he continues. He has a very good. He paints houses. He has people begging him to paint their house. He makes damn good money. Don't get me wrong, but at his age, and I'm like, well, I guess you're right. If you don't have anything else to do, that's the way to go.
Yep.
So, Robert,
Yeah.
what do you like to do for fun?
I like to fish. I got a pontoon and I got a John boat out here that hasn't seen a drop of water in I don't know how many years. I just ordered the registrations for them yesterday, so hopefully they'll be coming in the mail soon, and maybe I'll get to go fishing this year. I didn't really go much because of my dad. I didn't want to do something, leave and be gone doing something that, he loved to fish as well, and he'd always tell me I needed to go, but I told him, I said, well, I got things I need to do here, but I really just didn't want to, I was always gone at work anyway,
Right.
My cousin would kind of look after him while I was at work, but, I didn't want to just up and go and knowing that he would like to be going fishing, so I didn't really do a whole lot of it. I do hunt.
Yeah, that's kind of me. I keep on saying I wishing I was fishing.
2 deer. My cousin gave me one that they killed downstate. So I got 3 in the freezer.
3 what? I'm sorry, you cut out for a second.
I said I killed 2 deer. I deer hunt a lot. I got a field that I plant behind my cabin. It's about 180 yards, and I got a clear shot from my cabin to the field. So when I get ready to deer hunt and they come in the field, I just pick and choose which one I want.
So you and I don't mean this way. So you hide in the cabin and you
No. I got a spot right outside the cabin that's got some trees, and I'm gonna
He
put
is my people.
I'm gonna put a building up. I'm gonna put a little building up that I can hunt out of. I've got a building down there at the little field where I plant my stuff, and that's where I used to hunt. But I get too cold too easy, so I'll just wait till they text my phone. I got a camera down there; they can text me when they get there, and I'll.
Then you'll kind of run down there.
Yeah, I'll just walk outside and take care of business.
Oh yeah.
That reminds me when I went. My ex-wife her grandparents lived in the UP of Michigan. And we were there, and I looked up on the hill, and it looked like an outhouse was up on top of the hill.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, "What the hell are you doing with that outhouse on top of the hill?" He goes, "No, that's my deer stand." And
Yeah.
I said, because he lived literally, he owned like 200 or 300 acres of land up there. And he goes, "Oh no, I go up there and I sit that." And he goes, he showed me the deer heads that he had hanging on the wall. And he goes, "No, those came from that little deer stand up there on top of the hill." And I was like, "No way." And he goes, "Yeah." So we went to go up there, and we walked across a creek that was no more than 3 or 4 foot wide with water. And he goes, "Oh, you don't understand, when it comes spring and summer and all the snow melts, this thing is like 20 foot wide." And so, yeah, it was like, you've seen those things where they have the little fishing shacks that they put on the water and bore holes in there for fishing. Well, basically, he had the same thing, but he had a outhouse on top of the hill to shoot deer.
Yeah, Leonard Davis is asking the same thing. He's saying, Robert, is the outhouse you hide in? Is that it?
Well, it's a little building. Can I share a picture here?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, how do I do it here?
Paul's not here, so you can't share. No, there's a
Present.
a present at the bottom.
Oh, I see it.
Yep, and then you choose either the screen or the window or something.
All right,
And then-
I
and then
got it from there. Let me
Okay.
find the picture here.
I
Well,
told you,
you
you go up in the UP
You've
in
outsmarted
Michigan.
Paul already.
Hey, and before we forget, work, shop, whatever, confessions.
Well, I'm sure he has a few.
Let's see if this is it. I hope so. Yep, that's it. Okay, how do you share it?
Well, if you select it, whichever one you select,
Yeah.
then Russ will
Okay,
Put
it's
it up.
there.
Yeah.
That's early one morning. That's my little shooting house down there at the field.
Beautiful.
Oh man.
Looks
Yeah.
like a driving
I
range.
plant that, and you can see at the very lower end there's corn down there at the camera. There's a camera there. The rocks there are is a graveyard. That's my uncle that I buried there, and he always liked to hunt and fish, so he's in the perfect spot. He gets to hunt with me every time I want to hunt.
Awesome.
Yeah, years ago, that's how I earned my redneck status at the bar. I went in there with a brace on my leg, and everybody was asking me what happened. Well, where I lived at the time, there was a house beside us, kind of run down, and I would get on the back porch, and I'd sit there and wait for a deer to come up at the edge of the woods with my bow and arrow, and they said, "So you fell through a porch while deer hunting?" I said, "Yeah, you are a redneck, son."
Yeah.
Well, Leonard's saying shooting range, so that is a shooting range then.
Yeah, that's it's sort of a narrow spot, but it's real steep off all the way around that little knoll down there. So it goes off into the creek. So I have a lot of deer come out of the creek that they stay down in the thickets, and then they come out at night. I had more deer this year than I've ever had. I had deer actually fighting in the field twice. Never had them to fight in the field. The bucks, I never had that many bucks, but I had 3 or 4 bucks coming in this year, but they would only come in during the nighttime, the big ones. I shot a smaller one, and I shot a doe, and that's all I got this year. But the big bucks, they too smart. They don't want to come out.
They
And-
know better.
But it is where that picture there from that little building to the bottom down there is about 85 yards. From my cabin, it's 180 yards. So it's another 100 yards from my cabin down to that corn pile. I set up my 17 HMR, and I used to have squirrels. I got squirrels that get into my corn, and I waited on 2 of them this year to line themselves up, and I shot 2 squirrels with one shot at 180 yards with a 17 HMR.
Wow.
Went in the shoulder of one, and then hit the went in the head of one, and then went in the shoulder of the other one, and dropped both of them right there in the corn pile.
That's pretty
Oh.
good.
That sounds like the bullet that killed Kennedy.
I couldn't believe it. That was it was amazing.
I like some tree rats too.
Yeah, that is pretty good. When you take 2 squirrel out with one shot, that's
Yeah.
damn good. Yeah.
Yeah, that was luck. It wasn't nothing about being good. I didn't.
No, yeah, it may have been luck, but I still say that's pretty damn good. I mean,
Hey, I tried it several times after that, and I couldn't even hit one of them. So that was luck.
I
tell
wouldn't
the
know. Didn't ever
story,
tell nobody it was luck.
Yeah, I tell the story, and I've told it. I think I've told it on here several. Some of my fondest memories was, me and my brother. We used to sit in the loft and had a 22. Well, he had the 22 because I was a lot younger with him, and we would sit in the loft waiting for the rats to come in, try to get into the feed. And I was the night spotter. I'd turn the when we'd hear it, I'd turn the flashlight on, which kind of blinded them, made them look to where the light was coming from. And my brother used to pop them with a 22. And yeah, we had a lot of fun shooting rats. And you think that it's like, it's kind of like almost like stupid, but in the same aspect, that's some great childhood memories, you know.
Oh yeah. There's guys overseas. I don't remember. They're in the UK or somewhere. They do that all the time. That's a thing for them. They use pellet guns to shoot rats, and they got night scopes. They got some, fancy guns. I mean, high dollar guns and night scopes, and they just go to garbage piles, and they just sit there and just one right after the other.
No, we didn't have any of that stuff. We just shot them because they were in the barn trying to get the feed.
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we just shot them because they were in the barn trying to get the feed. But we had a lot of good time. I mean, I was raised on a farm. We had, we had cows and horses, and we didn't have too many horses. We had a damn mule. That's my dad that couldn't afford a tractor. He had a mule that plowed for us.
My neighbor's barn
I was
burned
on the
down
tractor.
that way by the corn
I was on the
cribby.
tractor all day today.
He had all these rats, and he poured gas down there and lit them, and there were a couple of rats ran toward the barn into the hay ball. Burnt his barn.
I bush hogged most of the morning here and plowed up some garden spots. Got a garden plowed up.
So has anybody got any thing that want to ask Robert before we get off here tonight?
I've got one question for you since you've got a mill.
Yeah.
Do you ever try to force dry wood in like an oven or a microwave or anything like that?
No,
Or you
I
just
haven't
let it
done
run?
that. I don't have a way of drying other than just air drying. I'd like to build a dryer of some sort, but I'd like to build. I thought about building like a solar kiln. It takes somewhere around 35-40 days in a solar kiln, but there's a lot to it, and you just got to get it set up right.
How
I
you
really
keep-
like the idea of these. They got those kill dry box things now that you buy to attach to the uh, big storage container, like shipping containers. It bolts onto the back, but those things are like 15,000. I mean, they're in the thousands. But you got to work it if you're going to make money with it. I mean, if you're going to buy one, you got to be serious about it.
Yeah, I know somebody. George Hatch is he was the principal of the high school where my kids went, and he has a cousin or something up in North Lake, way up there in North Lakeland, and
Yeah.
that's what he ended up buying was one of those. What'd you call it?
Storage container, shipping container.
Yeah, shipping container. And
Yeah.
he bought one of those and turned it into where he dried all of his lumber when he cut it up.
A lot of them put wood heaters in them. They build a wood heater on the back, and they force the air that fans with the heat through it.
Right,
There you
right.
go.
Yeah, he did his totally solar.
Yeah.
So yeah, he put a solar thing on it, and
Smart,
then
too.
it would
Humidifiers and stuff.
yeah, did he humidify and everything through it with all solar and everything. That's how he did his.
You can take a workbench in a shop. I seen a guy do that and do small stuff and put a little small heater in there and a dehumidifier and use plastic and insulation and stuff, and you can make a decent little small kiln in a shop or whatever to dry something small or simple that you want to dry.
Right.
Well,
Now,
you say you're-
this thing that he had was basically like you were saying, shipping containers like the size of that a semi would tote,
Mhm.
so to speak. So
They got them with the doors open from the side. It opens the whole thing up.
yeah,
You can get them any length up to 20 foot, I think.
yeah.
You're down there around toward me. Do you have problems with getting termites under wood, or?
We have a lot of termites here, but the thing is the wood. If you don't take the bark off, the pine beetles and things of the worms, it'll lay the worms behind it too. Any of the pine, you got to make sure you get all the bark off of it. But the wood already has fungus and worms and stuff in it, so that's why you have to kill dry it, because the worms will just eat away at it even after you've made something and took it in your house or whatever. The worms is already there. If you don't kill dry it and kill them, that's the whole basics of drying wood is to kill the bugs.
Yeah,
That's why they
exactly.
don't allow you to build houses really out of it. But I built my shop out of rough cut lumber, and I didn't have no real bad issues with it. I don't have no, it ain't rotted down. I built this thing in 1996, 95, 96, and it's still standing. So I put pressure treated posts in the ground, and then the rest of it's kiln dried or just dried lumber. I had a guy saw it for me. I didn't have a mill back then. I was young back then. I didn't even know what a band mill was.
Yeah, trust me, I had thought a lot of times about wanting to buy a mill and do some stuff with.
Hey, it's fun. It's interesting. I got to get started on mine and get to cutting now. I'm trying to get the gardens done. I've got a lot of stuff to clean up, and I had to bush hog today and plow some gardens for my cousin. They're going to plant some gardens, and I got all the tractors and the tillers and stuff, so I did all that, and so I bought me a dump trailer. I got a dump trailer where I could haul stuff off. I got a lot of things to haul, and I need to haul a rock. The rock is going to sky high. It's crazy. And
Yeah.
it cost. I bought a loader rock just the other week, and it was like $550 for 21 ton. And that's, it's not bad, but I could go get the rock for around $350 and haul it myself, But I'd have to make several trips with a dump trailer. But I can haul it at my own time now. If I need to go get a load, I'll just go get a load.
Yeah, I have a dump trailer myself. Mine will carry 1 yard.
1 yard.
Yeah.
I got a 6x12 Hawken. It's a 10,000 pound or 11,000. It's 11,000. It's got a 10,000 pound rating on it. It's got 11,000 pound axles.
Yeah.
But it'll haul my tractor. I believe I can haul my tractor inside it if I want to. My backhoe will hang out a little bit, but it'll be all right.
Yeah, my son, I needed some fill dirt one day, and the bucket on his backhoe, I don't understand what it was, but anyway, the bucket on his machine would lift 1 yard. In other words, when he pulled it up and put it in, that was a yard. So he put a yard in the back of my trailer, and I told him, I said, I think, because I have the Dodge Dually with a Cummins diesel, and I said, I think I can take a little bit more than that. And he goes, are you sure? And so anyway, he put about 1.25 yards in the back of that dump trailer, and I pulled it home. But I want to tell you, that old truck was struggling to drag that 1.25 yards home.
Should have had a Ford with 7.3 in it. You wouldn't have no trouble.
Oh, a piece of Ford. Yeah, found on road dead.
I baby my pickup truck
I got
so
my
much.
Dodge with a Cummins diesel, and I'll tell you what, I'll drag them Fords down the road all day.
I baby my pickup truck so much. If anybody put dirt in the back of it like that, I'd have to go to therapy after. Man.
No, the truck didn't have any problem handling the tow. I was worried about the trailer carrying it all.
Oh,
Yeah, my truck dragged it home without any problem, but I was sitting back there going like, oh, I hope those axles can carry that much weight. In other words,
yeah. That shouldn't have been no problem with it.
it wasn't. It really wasn't. I drug it home and dumped it out in my front yard. And
I had a 5x10 dump trailer I borrowed from a fella, and I used it for a while, and I hauled some of the off. You still there?
Yeah, we
Okay.
here. You keep cutting in and out. So
Okay. I had a dump trailer that was a 5x10, and it was a little small 15-inch wheels, 5 lug. And I hauled some awful loads of wood with my 7.3, and I was afraid the tires was going to pop. I had so much on it at times.
yeah.
But the little trailer, it would just lift it right up and dump it out. I never had no trouble with it. The trailer.
That's what I was thinking about, was the tires and the axles being able to carry that much weight. But
Well, the one I bought's got 6 lug wheels. I think they're 16-inch tires. I hadn't looked yet, but I think they're 16s, and
yeah,
it'll haul a lot better load.
it carried it. It carried it well. I put when we were doing back in the mid 1990s or whatever, when we had the back hurricanes and we were doing roofing, I could carry 6 squares of shingles on that trailer at one time.
Yeah.
So it was, now the truck kept on telling me, why the hell are you making me do all this?
Yeah, well, that's a Dodge for you.
Yeah, the Dodge is going like, what the hell I'm doing now? They were actually, I was shocked a few times as much as I took to the dump hauling. I was way overweight, trust me.
Yeah.
But that old damn Cummins diesel put it right out there in the, you know.
Yeah,
Yep.
Ford be asking you if that's all you got.
Oh, I wouldn't drive a piece of shit Ford.
Hey, you drive mine, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't drive a piece of shit Ford.
Mine almost drives itself.
Yeah. I want to tell you something. Chevys are just outrageous in price nowadays.
All of them are. They're nobody's buying them. I mean, they're sitting on the lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not in Texas. Texas is about pickup trucks.
Yeah.
Well, my Dodge Dually is a 2005 and with a Cummins diesel, and I bought it in 2005, and I paid right around $50,000 for it. And now, if I went to replace that truck, pretty much for the same truck that I have, is $120,000.
Oh yeah. I got a 1996 7.3 with king cab. And then I got a the 2011 F-150 four-door, and that's my daily driver. My diesel, I use it to pull my tractor, my trailer, and stuff around, and haul stuff, haul wood. Used to be my daily driver, but it's got a lot of miles on it now, and I use it. It gets the heavy towing now is all it gets to do.
Yeah. You know, I mean, people complain about Ford, Chevys, or Dodge, this, that, and the other. But I got news for you. They're all damn built in China.
Yeah. Well, my grandpa always told me, he said, don't matter what kind you got to take care of it and maintenance, and it'll last you for long.
Yeah, he's right.
I just changed the oil in my F-150 today. It was overdue. I changed it.
Yeah, the Cummins diesel recommends 6,000 miles to change on the Cummins diesel, and I change it every 5,000.
Mine was definitely needing it. I got it done today. I had to go buy a new battery yesterday. I've been having trouble with my battery dying overnight, and I thought I had a drain on the system somewhere, and I got to checking it yesterday. I thought my radio was doing it. We were messing with the radio, and it didn't take no time for the battery to just go dead sitting here in the shop. And I said, is that battery bad? And my buddy said, might be. And we got the tester out, and I got a battery volt tester to throw a load on it. And we threw a load on the thing, and it just went straight to bad. And I'm like, oh, here's my problem.
Yeah. So you got a diesel Ford. Doesn't it take two batteries?
Yeah, it takes two batteries. But this was in my F-150 that we were working on.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I got
my Cummins diesel.
We got a 2011 F-150 with a Coyote engine in it. It has the 5.0.
Yeah, my Cummins diesel has to have two batteries in it. So,
Mine will crank with one battery. It does okay with one battery.
Hey,
if it's cold,
I was testing it one day. Out of curiosity, I was messing with it, and I unhooked one battery, and I said, let's see if this sucker will start on one. And it damn sure will.
They will. It's just better when it's cold weather to have two. Cold weather, you really need them.
Right, to have two. So
my truck is an Etheradic. It has to have summer air. It don't like cold weather. It's got to have some summer air.
Yeah.
Batteries is something else ain't as good as they used to be.
They're not.
That's true.
3 years and that's it.
Yep.
As soon as 3 years is up, it's time to buy another one.
Buy another one. Yep, you got that
I
right.
spent $235 yesterday for a battery. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, it cost me because of it being a diesel. They have the have to have so many amps, cranking amps or whatever. So usually I'm right around $500-600 to pay or replace both batteries. So yeah, but now I be honest with you, I get more than 3 years. I'm getting 4 or 5 years out of my batteries. Because I went, actually, I changed over, and I thought it was a bunch of crap, but I changed over to the Duracell car batteries, or you know, for the truck, and they're actually they will outlast the other batteries. So
that's good. I bought a diehard. That's the only one. I mean, I just went out and bought one at Vance Auto, and that's what I got was a diehard.
Yeah, the Duracell seems to be, I get them from Sam's, so I get a better deal on them, so to speak. They're a little bit cheaper, but yeah, they seem to last pushing the 5-year mark compared to the other ones.
I used to be able to get the cheap ones from Advance, and you'd kill the car before you'd kill the battery. Now the last few I bought, in 2 years you was replacing it.
Yeah. And the battery, if you don't use it for 2 or 3 weeks, it'll go bad. The cell will die in it sometimes. I've had them do that before. I've had people that sat, you know, I didn't drive them that much, and the battery will just go bad sitting there. And stuff grows on the plates, and they just corrode up, and they're bad.
All right, we're gonna cut out of here. I think it's
wait.
Wait.
Confession.
No, so Robert, do you have a confession that you want to admit to that you did something that, if you look back on it, was so stupid? And if there was blood involved or dismemberment or anything like that,
well, I don't have one with blood involved because I haven't been that
unfortunate.
Careless.
Lucky.
I did when I first bought my table saw. I have a rigid table saw, which I really love. It's a nice table saw. It works good. It's the 4512, and only thing I'd ever used prior to that was this little small, you know, home job saws, little bitty things. And but this one would add a lot more power and things. And I guess I got somehow when I was pushing the board through, I did step to the right. For some reason, we're back now.
Yeah, we're back.
We're back.
Go ahead.
Okay. The board that I was pushing through, the off cut, I was bringing it back around, and somehow or another I turned it and got it to the blade, into the blade, and when it hit that blade, it was like a rocket. It slammed the back wall of that mobile home behind me. It went past my hand. It did hit my hand a little bit, but it didn't, you know, do any damage enough to hurt anything. It just enough to bruise my knuckle or something. But it went past me, and if it would have hit me in the chest, if I'd have been in front of it, that would have hurt.
I bet.
Yeah.
Because it slammed that wall so hard, I thought it almost knocked a hole in the wall. It hit it so hard. And from then on, I've been more careful. And I did build a sled for cutting small stuff. Mm-hmm. That's the best thing you can do if you got a table saw is to use a sled. What was his name? Perry. Dang, can't think of his name. I bought his plans to build the sled that I have, and it's been real good. I've used it a lot.
Oh, trust me, I've had a few incidents with a table saw myself. So
Yeah. Did you see the one that Jay Bates did with the bandsaw with the round pieces he was doing? Did you see
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
That was impressive. I
that
mean,
was creepy.
that's something to learn from, because that, he just got complacent, and he admitted that he shouldn't have been doing what he was doing. I mean, if there was better ways of doing it, but
You know,
it's good to see people put that on and post it and actually talk about it and show you what can happen and what not to do, because that was real eye opening when I seen it. Because I just bought this, I got this 19-inch bandsaw. That thing is as big as my sawmill.
yeah,
And that thing will hurt you. It's got the same size blade as my sawmill. It's got 1.25 inch Laguna blade on it.
yeah,
No,
we don't. Most of us have smaller bandsaws, and we don't think they're dangerous.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
they're like a big toy to us.
right.
And you think that's the safest one next to a scroll saw
Yeah,
that you've got in the shop, but no, it'll cut your finger. I went to what was the trade show I had to go to for work? It was the one where they have all the food and beverage stuff in it. Anyway, these guys had a bandsaw. It's like the same size as your Grizzly there,
yeah.
but it had like a saw stop technology on it that would stop that blade faster than
Wow.
saw stops our
Wow.
table saws. Yeah, the guy says, "Oh, it stops it in like 30 microseconds or something like that." I go, "Come
That's
on, man,
crazy.
that's faster than a saw stop." I don't think so. And then I told him how that one works, and he showed me the inside of this thing, and you wouldn't believe the crap. And it was just, you could have gloves on, and it was made for those people that cut meat and they push the meat through there so they don't slice their thumbs off and stuff. Because when your hands get cold, you can't feel your thumbs getting cut off.
You'll be bled as an ex-meat cutter. I've seen it before. You be bled.
Well, you know what I'm talking about then. Yeah. But this
You'd be
thing
bled to death by the time you figure out.
it would stop that saw blade faster than the saw stop.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, nuts.
Yeah, I bought that one over a year ago now, I guess, but I got a good deal on that one. There was a guy in Fayetteville, North Carolina, had it on Marketplace for $1,900.
Wow.
In my hometown.
Yeah. And that was a good deal. I drove over there. Me and my boy got in the truck and hooked the trailer up and drove over and picked it up. And that was an adventure. We started out early that morning. We didn't get probably 50 miles up the road, and we left out at 4 o'clock in the morning, and a deer ran across in front of me in my F-150, and it's got airbags. And I smacked that deer hard, and it just rolled it right up and under my truck, and I ran right over top of it, just lickety split. Never blew the airbags, thank goodness. And we pulled over, and I walked back, took my pistol with me and walked back because I didn't know if it killed it or not. And good thing I did, because when I got back there, it was in the ditch and just, all broke up, still alive. So I shot it and hit 4 o'clock in the morning. I told my son, I said, let's go before the cops get here.
Jeez.
All right, we're out of here.
All right, fellas.
I appreciate you being on here, Robert.
I'll be on here anytime, man.
Yeah, we had a good time tonight. Listen, if we don't have Chris here tonight, but somebody will fill in. But if you're too darn busy to get out in your shop and make some sawdust, you're just lazy.
You're lazy.
You're lazy. You get out there and make some sawdust. Yeah. Just give me sawdust, lots of sawdust all around me and everywhere. I like it flying all around my shop and even in my beard and hair. Good night, everybody, and thank you for watching. See you later.
You ain't got to go home, but you can't stay here.
Yeah, what Donald said.
Yep, that's it.